Allyson. I'm here with Outer Banks Brewtag, and we are checking out the Outer Banks Brewing Station to see what they've got going on.
Hello and greetings. Welcome to the Outer Banks Brewing Station. I'm Reese, your head janitor and tour guide today. Come on in and we'll check out the brewery. I'm going to shoot you through the whole process right quick. These are our specialty grains. Outside we have a 50,000 pound grain silo. We use Wireman malt. Outside our 50,000 pound grain silo goes right into this weigher dumper through the flex auger there, drops into there. Here's a little piece of HVAC ductwork we found on the side of the road and then bolted right to our mill so we can add the specialty grains up top. Then we go through a 2-row mill, right up there. Now onto our new pride and joy, our sexy new brew house. This thing is a 10-barrel Deutsch beverage, Charlotte-based company. Grain comes up through that flex auger, drops into this grist case, which is kind of neat. You see this on the floor or on the second floor of most places, but we lost 9 feet in our building when we built it, so the brewery shrank. So we literally cut the legs off, stood on that thing, held it up like Egyptians, and then built legs underneath. But now, since we got the new brew house, we moved this over the top, set it up with a little piece of HVAC work once again as our chute drops through the grist hydrator into our brew kettle. What's also interesting, a lot of folks don't know, is the spent grain that comes out of here that we send to a farmer in Elizabeth City. He actually raises cattle up on that grain, and then we buy the cattle back from him, take it, get it slaughtered, and it ends up on our menu as pasture to plate. Come right over here into our fermentation cellar, unit tanks. These giant ones are for beers that we brew multiple times into a couple of our mainstays. Everything else changes all the time. And keep coming with me. So we also have a sour project, a barrel-aged sour project. It takes about a year in the barrels, and then we release it slowly, little by little. We have a bit of sour in here, and then we keep bringing our first runnings into it, and we keep it going, and the yeast just keeps feeding. On a little bit of brewing historia. After the beer's fermented and it conditions in those conditioning tanks, those fermenters, unit tanks, we bring it in the cold room. We make our sodas. We make 3 different kinds of sodas: a orange cream soda, a root beer, and a ginger beer. And we make them in this, it's called the Minion tank. It's a Porterland Castrian, another English serving tank made in 1941. Now the beer goes into here. This is where we carbonate, then everything goes out. We don't filter anything. It just goes through these tubes right out to the bar. And that is a tour in under a minute. Hey, I'm here with Allyson, and she's going to be my guinea pig on tasting all of our specialty beers right now. And we're breaking out the specialty beers unlike a normal beer festival where we might do our Kolsch style, our Olsch, or let's say whatever current IPA we have on. Today Allyson's big into beer, so I figured I'd break out the stuff that we don't do all year long. And it's interesting because one of our beers is actually a historical style. So I'm gathering that you might not even ever tasted this beer style. And this style is a Gratzer. So Gratzer is a style of beer that was immensely popular in Poland as far back as the 13, 14, 1500s, right? Then when Poland went communist in 1933, the last Gratzer brewery had to close. The style was then wiped off the face of the earth, really commercially, but Polish homebrewers kept it alive until 2010, when the next Gratzer brewery opened back up. I mean, this beer is called the Polish champagne. It's normally very highly carbonated, but are you picking up that kind of interesting flavor?
Yeah. I'm trying to
Figure it out. Yeah. Now it's interesting because it's actually made with smoked wheat malt, and it's a very delicate beer. This one's barely 4% in alcohol, and it's so carbonated that they fully expect 5% of their production runs to blow up. Yeah. Yeah, that's
why they
part
call
of
it the champagne.
Yeah, exactly, and that's in that kind of style. Oh, I like that. You get every drop, which is key. So after these, you're gonna really be in the mood for more beer. The second beer we have is another interesting style that America we have. In America, we have the American wheat style, but really, the more interesting, in my opinion, version of that kind of style is the originator, which is called it's a German style called Krystalweiss. And Krystalweiss uses a wheat yeast that's highly flocculent, meaning it drops out. So it's the antithesis of most Hefeweizens, in that Hefeweizens are traditionally cloudy. This beer, as you can see, totally clear. Go ahead and take it. Also, that yeast doesn't kick off the esters that a normal Hefeweizen beer. Yeah, isn't it interesting? It's a great. It ends with that nice crisp finish. You get wheat flavor, but not over the top with that yeast character of a true Hefeweizen. But it's a perfect American crossover, I feel. But it's the traditional German way for it. Now this beer, it's a French style Saison. Saison was really brought up in the. It's also called typically a farmhouse beer. Very light, made for the field workers. Uses that specialty yeast, the Saison yeast, which has very complex and interesting characters. Usually the beer has just a slight bitterness to it. Its finish is very dry. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to try it and then get back to work, but with a better attitude, which I've been testing, and it really works for me. This one's made with honey. It's actually, there's two different styles of yeast, a Belgian style and a French style. This is the French style, which actually ferments a little bit quicker, which is more in character with our American speedy hearts. We use a little honey in there to give it a little residual sweetness. So we feel like this is a fun fall kind of beer. But even more on the fall line and more down home is this, once a year we do a homegrown series using all North Carolina products. This one, since the microbrewery explosion here in North Carolina, we have two malt companies now, one in Charlotte, Carolina Malting, and then one in Durham, Epiphany Malting Company, both excellent. And we have one commercial hop grower, Papa's Hops, out in the Triad. So every year we try to do some kind of different beer. This year is what we call the Carolina Mild, and it's a mild brown ale, focused in on our base malts. Came from Carolina Malting, so it was all grown within 30 miles around the Charlotte area. And then Epiphany Malting, we used their dark malts out of Durham. And then Papa's Hops. This uses a Canadian red vine hop. Kind of crazy, huh? But easy drinking, not harsh, just a fun little brown ale. I don't know, Allyson, what do you think?
They're all very good.
Oh, thank you.
I think the brown might be my favorite.
Ah, nice. Well, I kind of knew that going in. That's why I saved it for the last, and we didn't work the other way.
I appreciate that.
We are coming up on Christmas, and Christmas is a time to share the love. And we came up with this little spread the love idea, to bring a toy or buy one of our toys. Let me get on this side. Hopefully the unicorn will still be here. I really want to donate. Grab a toy, donate as much as you can. Feel good about it, put the toy in the box. We'll take the toys and the money. We'll buy gift cards at Food Lion and Nag's Head, and we'll get them to Dare County and they'll distribute them. So thanks a lot for taking the tour with me, taking the time. Thank you, Allyson, for sucking down those beers like a champ. And hopefully you'll all come by the brewing station, say hi to me, Eric, when I'm running around or fixing the toilet.